Welcome to another exciting episode of the Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Paperboy.
I'm Mr. Magazine.
So the other day, Mr. Magazine, I work over at his store Monday mornings. Technically Monday morning. I guess I get there Sunday night, but what are you going to do?
True.
And he left a note for me asking me to check the prices on eBay of packing supplies of various things that he's been buying from his supplier. And I went through, and there were a couple of things that were cheaper on eBay. Overall, his supplier was competitive on just about everything. And we ended up not making any changes. A couple of different reasons why. Number one, especially with the corrugated pads that Mr. Magazine gets, he knows what he's getting. The problem with eBay is I've made the mistake or had the problem before where I've ordered something and it turns out it's the EcoSwift, and then you actually are losing money because you need to use two of them because they're so chintzy and so bad. And the other side of that is with some of the boxes, there are some chintzy boxes out there, but not too many of them. But the other problem you have is sometimes you don't end up getting your order.
Well, I was going to say that's the biggest thing. We get the order in a day or two whenever we want it. And it's guaranteed pretty much. You know what I mean?
So if you have the option of paying $85, and I'm just throwing that out as a number, for what you know it's quality, you can get it, or $79, and you're rolling the dice that it's going to be good, and you're rolling the dice that you're actually going to get it, especially if you look on, and it's a lot of extra work to sit there and search, because one thing that I do when I buy the packing supplies from Mr. Magazine is I do check the feedback.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is, it'll be somebody with one positive. Well, I'm not going to buy packing supplies, somebody with one positive, because they may not send them, and we need the packing supplies.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
So we made the decision after analyzing the numbers that we were going to stay with where we are.
And I'm buying American, I'm buying local, supporting local business. That's always a plus.
And another area that Mr. Magazine has begun to do, and I will admit that I have not begun to do it, and I really should begin to do it, although it wouldn't save, for the things that I ship out, it wouldn't save very much, but it might save something occasionally, would be he is using UPS a lot more often than the post office.
Yeah.
I am, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Magazine, I am noticing a trend. You appear to be trying to cut costs. Is there a reason for this?
Absolutely. I mean, in this economy now, obviously my eBay sales are being affected by this economy, in my opinion, heavily affected. So my sales are down like 50%. Luckily, the other sites are carrying their weight. But it's a little tighter. I have less cash flow, less money in my account. I'm paying my bills, but I don't have that extra money.
The cushion.
Where something came through, or my roof needs $5,000 worth of work, or my car, or this, and I need 3, 4, 5,000. I'm sure I could come up with it.
Figure it out, right?
But I don't like the fact that I'm a little tight. I like to have an X amount of money in my account. And should I say the number?
Sure.
I would say a year and a half ago, I would like $50,000 in my account. Okay. Meaning, if any $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 collection came through, I'm covered. Plus, I have money to cover my bills, and with the sales going on consistently higher, I know I'm going to have X amount in my account every Monday over the weekend or so forth. Then, maybe 6-8 months ago, that turned into my $30,000 cushion I was good with.
Oh boy, that's going the wrong way.
Because I'm thinking like, okay, $30,000, I got $10,000 for this every week I need. I got money coming in for this. Now my cushion is like $20,000 to $25,000, and it gets even lower. And then
at certain times of the month or whatever.
And then every 2 weeks, and luckily my account gets really low, and I get a check from my DVD site, which helps me bump it up. But the problem is I'm playing catch up. I'm never getting over that hump where I got some breathing room again. So now I'm fighting to keep that low cushion,
Right.
So I have to make some, at least try to see where I can cut corners. I contacted the advertising company for the yellow pages, digital advertising, and it's just a little bit here and there. But it comes to something. It comes out to something, and I don't want to be wasting money or throw money away like, during COVID or when things were better a year or two ago. I'd be a little more looser. So, we had a window cleaner that now we really don't need a window cleaner. We had, what is it? I have OnStar in my truck. I canceled OnStar. I don't really use it much. It's a luxury where if you get in trouble or need it, it's there. Don't really use it. Canceled OnStar. Just little things like that. And like I said, it could add up to $300-400 a month. in savings, which could be
$4,000 at the end of the year. Yeah.
exactly. So even buying less. Someone called up with some stuff that normally I wouldn't love buying it, but I would take a look. I just said, forget it, I'm not interested. Because it's like I'm throwing 100 or 200 away. It's going to sit in the corner. I'm not going to make a lot of money. So being frugal there as well. Just for now, I had a weight trainer personally that was training me. I canceled him. I just put him on pause. I said, give me a couple months to get through this, and if things pick up with the economy, the presidency, Christmas season, we'll resume again. Like I said, when I'm a little more comfortable, the cushion's bigger, I'll do a little more loosely with the money. But right now, I want to tighten it up and see if I can build it up again.
Can I tell you what I have begun to do, Mr. Magazine?
Sure.
What
not?
Yes, and actually, this does tie into whatnot.
Okay.
I went the other day, and I had to put together some stuff for an auction, and I found a pile of stuff that's pretty good stuff. And I'm looking through it, and I said, this stuff, decent stuff, has been sitting in this box since 2022. And I know I paid $1 or under for this stuff.
Yeah.
Am I happy putting it up at Whatnot for $3? No, I'm not happy doing that. But I do think it's enough quality stuff that I think it will get multiple bids, and I think it'll go for $7 to $10. Am I happy selling it for that? More happy than having it in that box in 2 years and seeing that box again.
How many pieces roughly?
40, 50, something rather like that.
So why don't you just take out the best 5 or 10? I said these are the most $30, $40 pieces, and put them on eBay, because you're going to sell them long tail, but who cares? They've been sitting around for 2 years anyways. Next 30 or 40, knock them off. Who cares? It's all gravy really at this point.
Yeah, and because
you might as well get the most out of the best stuff and go from there.
And absolutely, because I may not be out of the specific deal, but I'm out of the overall deal. In other words, they would be things that like I bought at Madison Bachville flea market 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I spent, $800 out there. I'm out of that. I've sold $2,500 worth of stuff out of it or something. So I'm out of that trip.
Yeah.
And this is stuff that I've just never gotten around to. And it's not like tomorrow I'm going to say, I'm not buying again for 5 years. If that were the case, it would be a completely different story.
Sure.
But I'm certain the deals will keep coming along. And so, again, I'm kind of doing it a little differently there, where I'm just saying, I got to get stuff out of here. I know it's good. It was good enough for me to buy in the first place.
Yeah.
But if I were at a show and I saw this, let's say that I think, okay, it's going to get a couple of bids on Whatnot. It's going to sell for $5. Would I pay $5 for this item? No, I would walk by it.
Right.
I guess I would rather have the $5 than that item.
Yeah.
Is kind of the way that I'm looking at it now for selling stuff.
Sure.
So it isn't necessarily that I'm tightening my belt per se, but I'm kind of getting the same kind of idea there that, I've got to move some of the stuff out because more stuff's going to come in at some point.
Yeah.
So you're doing it, cutting the expenses. I'm not really seeing too many places where I can cut expenses because I don't, other than buying. But when I buy, it's to resell anyway. But even there, even on the buying side of things, I definitely have changed my buying quite a bit with Whatnot, because a lot of things that I'm buying now when I'm out at a sale are for Whatnot. Right. Specifically, I'm saying, these guys got this pile of stuff over here, and I know this stuff will go good on Whatnot. Let me pick this stuff up and sell it over there. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to stay away from those the deals that add to your death pile greatly.
Yeah.
Unless, obviously, if I'm out there and somebody's got a whole box of Golden Age superhero and they go $100, well, I don't care. It can go in my death pile. I don't care. That's such a great deal. But it's the mediocre stuff or the mediocre plus stuff that it's like, I don't need another box of that stuff.
Exactly.
I don't need to tie up another $100, because I'm going through and I'm taking a look also at my spreadsheets, and I'm finding deals that, I spent $1,100 on that. And I have not sold very much out of it yet.
Yeah.
It's just been sitting in the corner for the last 2 years. That's $1,100 I've got sitting there.
Sure.
What could I have done with that $1,100? And so I'm starting to kind of drill deep, a little bit deeper there as well. So we're both having those reckonings as far as money comes. You're trying to cut the spending side, and I'm trying to increase the selling side on whatnot, which again is not, you don't make as much money, obviously, but you can move the stuff out. And if it's been sitting there for, if I guess the way I'm looking at it is, if I have a box of stuff that I added up and I paid $100 for at Madison Bachville in 2020, which I'm sure I have that box sitting around somewhere, and I can get $450 out of it on whatnot. Yeah, when I bought it, whatnot wasn't around, and I was expecting to sell it on eBay for $1,000, $1,500. I'm better off just getting the $450 now out of it.
Exactly.
Because I haven't gotten anything out of it, and it's just been sitting there for the last few years.
Sure. Yeah.
So do comment down below what you're doing, how you're tightening your belt, or are you trying to increase the sales, or what you're doing, and we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye bye.